how is each of you really doing?
Blessed,
Grateful.
present.
Responsible.
You know, just because you're on top of the world today, that don't mean that you can't fall off tomorrow.
Me and him, 7 years old, in the dark in the room, like, yo, what you gonna do to be great? Sweating. Yo, how you gonna be great? I don't know. How you gonna be great? I don't know. Like,
You live doing something you love. How many people can just say that?
and 2 or 3 black kids in the class, and so I remember being timid to raise my hand in class sometimes.
My life has a lot of law of attraction. Why did it work for me but not for others?
Some dreams feel undreamable. You know, like you can. You'd be like, nah.
The words that we say can impact somebody's entire life. Damn. He said it's a phrase he lived by that says you could be unhappy in Hawaii.
You can lie to people, but it's harder to lie to yourself.
Exactly. A lot of people are looking for something that they never lost. You have happiness can't be given to you.
Before you watch this chapter, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
All right, guys. So the first disclaimer is that there'll be some music
Yeah.
because we're at Sole. There's a vibe, so we'll just continue talking.
Yeah.
I know you can't, but you'll try. So Eric's voice is because of a crazy performance maybe yesterday.
Crazy last night.
So wherever you can, let us know.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have you guys all here in Dubai
Thank you,
for the
man.
first time, right?
Thank you.
It's a pleasurable
Yes.
experience, man. We loving it.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy to hear people enjoying our country and our city. I think also the States, I lived there and people didn't know anything about this side of the world. And when you don't know, you fill in the blanks. So you look at movies and magazines and you just fill it up and you build a certain image.
Right.
And then you come here like, it's not exactly that.
Right. I notice our country does it a lot. Like that's why it's so good to travel, because you got these misnomers about what these places are like, and you come see for yourself.
So first of all, the signature question is each of you in one word, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
Go with it.
I'm absolutely blessed. Cannot complain.
Blessed.
Blessed.
Grateful.
Grateful.
Yes, sir. I'm present.
Present.
Yeah.
Responsible. When we first started to chat, you mentioned present. And we were talking about the balance of being present, but also having an eye on the future, maybe the close future. Do you think that's really important, or you think because it's a very promoted thing, be in the present, be in the present, be in the moment? And I do think it makes sense because you can control the moment, you can't control the past or the future. But do you think it's also wrong not to think of what's happening next week, for example?
Yeah, to a certain extent, because I feel like your present dictates your future. If I make a foolish act, next week I'll probably be in jail, you know what I'm saying? So I want to always keep my future self in mind whenever I'm dealing in the present.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Try to be responsible towards him as well, you know?
And Eric, don't talk too much, but you said a very interesting word, so I had to stop. You said responsible. What do you mean? And if you can tell him or tell me if you can.
I'll try my best.
If you can't, tell me I can't. And we can type it for you.
It was good. Last night, just being in front of so many people, seeing how many kids is in front of us, us doing our thing on stage, I feel like we got a responsibility for what we're doing right now. It's bigger than us. And it's just knowing that, understanding the power of influence. You know, whether we use it for negative or positive, we obviously using it for positivity. And just keeping that in mind. Doing this is fun. I love doing it, but it's a job. And it's been given by God, you know what I mean? So always keep it in mind that we got a responsibility to do. So yeah, that's why I say responsible.
Man, you're the second person that reminds me of this interview I did recently. So I hope I'm not repeating it too much, but it came to mind. And the interviewer told me, Anas, what does fame mean to you? You know, you're famous now, your show's famous, what does fame mean to you? And I said, responsibility. And you said the same thing, and that's why it's clicked, because like, why are we famous? People are so obsessed with being famous, but for what? Are you famous because you're making fun of people?
Right.
Are you famous because you're promoting booze and girls and crazy life? Or the question is not famous, is why, you know? And I think it's such an important point. I'm sure it's also crazy for you guys to come all the way here and then you see people maybe repeating your lyrics. It's interesting, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
The internet can be good also.
Absolutely.
You wanted to say something?
No, I was agreeing.
Yeah.
And you got to think too. Like we live in apartment 505, and contrary to people's belief, we rap for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like for the longest, we was the only people listening to our. I listened to his music, he listened to my music, so we really rap for each other. So to see how it resonates with everybody else at this point now, it's like, I think moving forward, now we're starting to rap from the perspective of, oh, there's an audience that's actually listening. Like we can speak to everybody else as well. But it's amazing to see how people resonate with stuff that we thought really only applied to us for, you know what I'm saying?
And not only in your geography, but in the other side. It's a human thing.
It's amazing.
And this is, I think, what people don't, like today, I want to know the human beings in front of me. Not only the talents. The talent, everybody knows you're talented. But who are you guys? So one of the most nice questions that I like is, tell me more about your upbringing. All of you, anybody who wants to chip in.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know, well, you know, me and my brother twins, so since the womb and everything. But no, we definitely grew up in a household that was predominantly based on faith for the most part. My mom, Teacher Moses, she really taught us that at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna get you to wherever you're trying to go to is God. You know what I'm saying? And she definitely gave us a mindset to build your own relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? So it took a while. I think like it really connected for me personally around like 18 to where like that upbringing really sunk in, because it was like for the first time I built this relationship with God in a way where it's like it was unique to me. You know what I'm saying? Beforehand, you got this idea of like what God is and what this structure is and what you're supposed to do with it and what you're allowed to do, and you have the relationship through other means, so whether it's through church or through a priest or, you know, stuff like that, through the Bible. And when it finally connected, for me and my upbringing, was where it was like all the struggles that we went through, I seen my mom build this relationship with God in her own way, where it was like I'm a continually speak, manifesting like was a thing that happened in our house and stuff like that. But I didn't have words for these things, so it was just like my mom saying, you know, the lights are off, but we're gonna have them on by Thursday. No check there to confirm it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the lights is on by Thursday, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I kind of just, through our upbringing, it kind of just taught me for the most part, okay, this is that relationship, you know what I'm saying? I could talk to God and ask him about anything, whether it's through, I'm trying to get women, you know what I'm saying, at the time, like, God, I'm trying to get women, or I need money, or you know what, or I just need you to just talk to me and tell me something funny today, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's laugh together, you know what I'm saying? And like, that upbringing was very important for me. I know it's like shaped my whole idea of my identity, my idea of how I rock with my brothers and stuff like that. And it's definitely something key I'm looking forward to instilling in my children as well. So I say, yeah, faith is a big part of my upbringing for me, for sure.
You know that there is something beautiful of surrender, and I'll explain. Islam means to surrender.
Oh, wow.
And Islam comes from salam, which is peace.
Right.
But to release yourself to a higher power is to surrender yourself to a higher power. And I think as human beings, because we are weak creatures, we go through troubles, we feel helpless, we feel weak, we feel depressed. And to just believe or know that there is some higher power that I can surrender my pains to, or my joy to.
Right.
I think there's a very big thing in that, because if we think we can do everything on our own, nah.
It always goes downhill, 100%.
Yeah. Rio, how was yours?
Man, It's been a journey. It's been an incredible journey. You know, I'm from Colombia, so I left Colombia when I was 3 years old. My pops and mom, and me and my pops, more closer to my pops, he raised me and stuff, and you know, we went through it all, man. I remember me and my dad, we used to stay in a car shop, and we would be able to sleep there, and then like at 7 in the morning when they start fixing cars, we had to go, you know, so that's why my word is gratitude, you know, because I've seen not only like where myself has been coming from, but all of us, you know, working together, and, you know, 505 before that, you know, like seeing everything where it started to where it's at now, it's just, you know, like, I don't even got words for it. Like, the feeling is beyond words. So, super grateful for that. And my dad always like told me, like, man, like, always be kind, because you could be on top of the world tomorrow, and if you were mean or like not the coolest person to people on your way up, you know, just because you're on top of the world today, that don't mean that you can't fall off tomorrow. Right. Anybody could fall off. Right. So he's like, you know, and if that happens, you want to have people that love you, people that you treated kind, you know what I mean? Like, so people always got your back, and, you know, that support system, you know what I mean? Anywhere you go, always be kind, always be grateful, always show love to everybody, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's about. And, you know, having that relationship with God for sure, you know, like, is super key, I would say, super key. That gives you the strength, you know. Life knocks you down so many times, and, you know, you got to make the decision. It's always, like, you know, I would say sometimes, like, it's a challenge to sometimes, like, pull yourself out of things, you know, when you feel like it's been like this for so long, and the people around you might not have that same outlook, you know, or you might be by yourself, you know, but, you know, there's always a light in the world, and whatever you could do, even if they're not, like, close to you physically, tune into it, tune into that energy, and it'll fill you up. And, you know, thank God I have music that helped me, you know, get through a lot of things in my life, and hip hop, you know, definitely saved my life. The struggle, you know, I found the beauty in that. And, you know, I'm super grateful just to be in the position to be who I am, and to be able to shed this light with the world. So gratitude is my thing, for sure.
And it's a huge thing. Like, I don't think we realize how gratitude is really important for peace of mind and happiness. If you just don't know, for example, if all of us sit down now and we think of 10 things we didn't like today, easy. Yeah, the alarm was annoying, the car was late, right? But then you zoom out and you think, I can move my hands, I can breathe, you know, I can run, I can eat, I can travel. You can just sit down and think of so many things, and you're like, shit, it's actually, why am I even complaining?
Right.
But if we don't do this exercise, we become very arrogant with what we already have, whether it's your family or your music. And just look at you 4 guys. You live doing something you love. How many people can just say that? 1%?
Right.
One? So you can never take it for granted, or you should never. But people do.
Yeah,
Famous people do.
Absolutely.
Successful people do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yours, same?
No, I would say for me in particular, love. Love is my family. We have such a strong knit family. We're grateful. I'm so grateful to have a strong knit family. My mom, and just the different various forms of love. My mom, when we were little kids, she would she always made sure me and my brother, like, so I don't know how all twins work, but for the majority that I've seen, twins, we start off as rivals. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to share everything. So you so used to somebody biting into your portion that you start to become the enemy, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was so funny because me and my brother, my mom would allow us to, you know, form our own relationship. We definitely had a lot of tension. Of course, all love, brotherly love and stuff like that, but she always made it to where, whether it was us and or cousins, any family members, once you step outside that household, it's you and your brother against the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can, and even that nature of our relationship kind of helped establish what we got as brothers here. You know what I'm saying? Because we brought that. If I call you my brother, we gonna treat it like that. You know what I'm saying? So, love. My mom, when I was a little kid, she would make us do book reports on on obscure black activists. So she should come home, she'd be like, don't tell me nothing about Martin Luther King, Malcolm, I heard about him, go find somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So we be in there and I'm like 6 years old reading these books and trying to get this book report done. I used to hate it when I was a little kid, but that played a lot into my self-love, you know what I'm saying? I remember being timid to raise my hand in class sometimes because me and him might be like the one of 3 black kids and 2 or 3 black kids in the class, and so my hand got a different pigment. I'm looking, I'm like, or I want to pull my sleeve up to raise my hand. But, you know, going through that process of like, you know, studying these different activists and just finding light and love in my culture and myself, important. My mom is, and aside from my mom, the whole village that raised us, never once did we feel like, I mean, you could speak for yourself, but I know, you know, for me, for sure, never once did I feel like I was a little less loved because of this or that, you know, like never once did I feel unloved. If I ever had a love issue where I felt lacking in love, it was self, you know, and, you know, through the process of growing and, like he said, developing a relationship with God in my own right, then I found that power. My mom taught me, she taught me manifestation before it was a word in my vocabulary, you know. We would ride around through different neighborhoods and she would be like, yo, this house we gonna get this house. And if we didn't get that house, we got the house across the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, just always opening our mind. My mom told me, all my family, they told us since we were 7 years old, they say, yo, you gonna be great. Y'all gonna be great. Y'all already great, but y'all gonna be great. So me and him, 7 years old, in the dark in the room, like, yo, what you gonna do to be great? Sweating. Yo, how you gonna be great? I don't know. How you gonna be great? I don't know. Like, we gotta figure it out. Like, they keep saying we're gonna be great. We gotta figure it out. So like, I think, you know, I always tell my mom, she had us at 20 years old, and I always tell my mom, I always tell her, I say, man, I don't know how you did it, you know? I don't know how you did it. I know you weren't aware of a lot of things you were doing because it was just it was unconsciously she was doing it. But I'm like, you created me, like in the literal sense of the word, but also the personality, my self-concept, you sat there and molded it and made sure that it was expansive. I never once felt like I was a product of my environment. I always felt like if the environment was too small for me, just the energy and what, then I would just remove myself and stand to the side of it, you know? And so it allowed us to be ourselves. Shout out to my dad. My dad is Ras Cass. He decided to do music. So that opened the lane for us just chasing our dreams, you know? So yeah, my childhood has allowed me to become who I am to the fullest extent. And just, you know, my mom is you know, 20 years older than me, and she still comes with fresh concepts to expand my self-belief. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, once people get to a certain age, they kind of get concretely locked into who they are. And I still talk to my mom, and she got fresh ideas. Look, hey son, you should be eating like this. Look, I'm learning this. And so, you know, I love my family because we just grow and evolve, and I love it. It's such a strong nucleus, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I give all who I am to my family, 100%.
I connect a lot, man, because my mom never finished uni or grade school, probably just finished high school in Syracuse.
Right.
But she's so in touch with life. Like, she'll tell me something from a completely different perspective. I'm like, who taught you? Like,
yeah, same,
like,
same.
How?
Yeah.
So, and you know what's crazy? And I've been repeating this so much and really learning this so much. If each of you looks in their lives, there's usually a teacher or a family member or a friend who said something at some point and they're like, shit, I might be great. You know, I was talking to a soccer coach recently, and he was telling me how he works on players, and they're young. You know, a lot of the athletes, they are young, 18, 16, 22. And he was saying, you know, I talk to them mentally, like, you know, how they should be feeling great, that they will be the best, not just go and take a picture with the top footballers, but no, you could be one of them. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, like, don't undermine your words. Because it's always somebody who said something, who believed in you when you didn't believe in you.
Absolutely.
And you're like, what if they're right?
Come on. Come on.
You know, so your family's saying you're great, but you don't know why.
Didn't know how.
Or what you're gonna do, but you're like, shit, maybe they're right.
And I think that's the job. That should be the job of every society when dealing with the young. It should be the elders' jobs to pour into them young kids because they just seeds, you know what I'm saying? So if you fertilize them and treat them the right way, they can grow into whatever. You can make them the worst of the worst, the best of the best, mediocre, you know what I'm saying? But we all got that power in ourselves, of course. But yeah, our parents telling us, y'all gonna be great. That, of course, my mind is already trying to connect the dots. What is greatness? Oh, I should study the greatest only. oh, okay. Like you see, it changes your whole perception on how you want to move and what you perceive, and you know. So it's important. Yeah.
How much can you tell us about your upbringing in short?
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad is everything. He's taught principles in the Bible.
Yeah.
I never heard the Bible myself. Principles was everything. Making your bed.
Yeah, let me start right there. His dad is everything to him. His dad installed principles, character. His dad, heavy in the Bible. He ain't never really much read the Bible, but he could quote you verses off the top of the dome because his dad would just read and pour directly into him. All type of sayings like how you make up the bed.
Yeah, like just
Making your bed,
Small muscles.
brushing your teeth. Did he teach you the small muscles? Small muscles build the big muscles. And this is all game that he passed down to us through his dad.
Yeah.
Like small muscles make up the big muscles. What's another one? The amplification. Yeah, so his
that's
dad.
a heavy one.
This a heavy
That's a
one. This
heavy
we
one.
all use this.
Yeah.
His dad got a term called amplification, right? So his dad would tell him like if he brought a girl over or anything, home friends over and stuff like that, he'd be like, yo son, watch for the small things. And he said amplify that 3 years down the line. That's who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So you might see one little discrepancy. We like amplify it first, and then you don't mean you got to get rid of him, but just don't be surprised if you come back and be like, oh dad, look what just happened. He said his dad, he used to tell us like his dad would tell him, and he'd be like, pop just, you know what I'm saying? He said 6 months later, he like, dad, he did it. He like, I told you, son, I told you. Yeah, so his dad is major. Yeah, major.
You know,
even just to speak on that, his dad is such an influence in his life that he literally has influenced us.
Yeah.
And
With
I
all the
I can tell
teachings.
you the amount of times I talked to the man personally, and like, but his teachings have resonated with every
All of
single
us.
one of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how powerful his teachings are. They like you would think that you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. So,
Yeah.
big shout out to his
100%.
dad.
and you're 32, so the dynamic for me is interesting. And you all are 26.
Yeah.
27 now. Yeah.
I just turned.
Oh, yeah,
27.
So very closer, and then suddenly you have the elder brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yes.
it's an interesting
The crazy
dynamic.
part is he always wanted little brothers. Yeah, and me and my brother for sure definitely always wanted a big brother. You know what I'm saying?
And I always wanted brothers.
And
I'm
so
an only
him.
child. So
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
interesting.
So all the pieces connected. Yeah.
You know, you guys are reminding me so much of Maya Angelou's teachings, and what your dad told you is something that Maya told Oprah, where she said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And your dad is saying that, like sometimes, you know, I always think if somebody says, hey Anas, meeting up next week, I'm gonna come pick you up. And then they're late, really late, like
Right.
40 minutes. And then you're like, bro, you coming? Or, and he goes, oh shit, I forgot. It's okay.
Yeah.
Now he forgot, but don't be stupid to think that might change.
Right.
He has no priorities. You're not a priority.
Right.
So if he does it again,
Yeah.
so this the fool me once, shame on you. Fool me
Yeah.
twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
So I love what you said.
100%.
And the amplification, I never thought of it that
That's
way.
that helps us a lot.
a
That
good
helps
one.
us a lot. It's for the good and the bad though. It's not it's not only
Absolutely.
for the good and the bad. Right.
Absolutely. What's the importance of apartment 505?
Man.
Yeah, I mean it's
good one.
probably I think everybody has their own take on Apartment 505.
Okay,
I know
go.
for me, we was just actually talking about this. Shout out to Rhapsody. She also performed. We was just talking to her about this the other day, but just saying like Apartment 505, the greatest element of that to me was the fact that when we all lived together, we spent almost every second, because we not only lived together, but we worked at the same job. And we also
Recorded
did music
together,
So,
yeah.
so we literally were around each other 24/7 for the most part, and we spent all that time manifesting. We, like, down to the exact detail was like, yo, the hip hop community is gonna receive us like this, and you know we're gonna be able to drop our first album and it's gonna be like this, and you know we're gonna be traveling here and doing. It's like, and the fans is gonna react like this, and it happened down to the T. And one thing that's crazy to me. I heard this thing, so we are like are heavy into reading and stuff like that, and there was this thing that we came across which was called a mastermind, and so this mastermind is basically like when two or more? Yeah, 2 or more. So when 2 or more people to get together, they create this brand. It's what is it, like
Yeah, it's like another brain. It's like it's a whole another entity in itself.
A mastermind.
A super mastermind. So yeah, it's a whole creation, and this thing now takes precedent. It's extremely powerful. You can use it for great things. You can use it for negative things. But we spent all that time using it for positive things, and to see what it turned into to even be right here with you today is just that was the power of 505 to me. It was having that time, years of having that time with these dudes and locking in and creating this amazing and powerful mindset. That's what we always call Apartment 505 a mindset. It's a way of thinking, a way of living, you know what I'm saying? And that was very important to me. I love that part for me. So, yeah, I'll definitely take that away.
Yeah, I say the mastermind. You just got for Oh, yeah. What you need?
Communication. Yeah. Okay, let me take it from here. I mean, I was just saying, like, so he's saying Apartment 505, communication. We learned the power of communication so thoroughly there. It's 4 dudes in one room, and learning how to respect each other, learning what tones not to use, like down to the tone, down to how we treat each other.
How to play around.
Playing around with each other, seeing like what's the line from, and just respecting that thoroughly. He said, for us, 505 is no bigger than the stage, literally, no bigger than the stage, but for us, it was a mansion, you know what I'm saying? So even it allowed us to play with perspectives. I'll say for sure, like on my end, like perspectives, that's the first time in my life where I actually learned how to control my perspectives, whether working, whether anything. And like he said, instead of looking at 505 for what it physically was, he was able to look at it, we were all able to look at it from the value that it gave us. So now it goes from this small place to a mansion, like he said. Anything else? I love you too. I love you too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
He's doing a good job representing you. Okay, nice.
But no, I agree with him. I think like for me, for sure, 505 was a place where, like he said, you couldn't shut off that manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so cool because you ever kick it with one of your homies and like you just be daydreaming. You know what I'm saying? And then you leave and you speak no more of it. You know what I'm saying? With us, all day long, it didn't turn off. And it was a blessed time, man. It's a blessed time. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so like he's saying like we be at work and we shout out to my 2 cents, the place where we worked at, all the celebrities would come by, all of them. And so we would be serving them their food and then we get back to the crib and be like, man, I can't wait till we and now it's kind of funny because we coming back and clapping these dudes up, ain't you? And you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So everything came full circle. 505 was a very special place for us, for sure.
Yeah, it makes me think of the 10,000-hour rule.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and you guys had a huge advantage because when people went to sleep or went back home, you went back together.
Yeah.
So you have an advantage that people don't because you're still working. You're still manifesting and thinking 100%. And bouncing ideas and brainstorming.
Right.
You know, I think I would love for you to tell us and tell the people who are listening, who are talented or just not so encouraged or demotivated.
Yeah.
How would you take, because you talked about manifestation, how would you take that from a talent into actualizing something? You know, I don't know if I made sense, but a lot of people are talented, but they never make it.
Right.
A lot of people are trying to manifest, but they never manifest.
Right. Can I start with that one?
Yeah,
that's
please.
Crazy. I was just talking about this. Man, I love that question. I would say for me, the main thing, manifestation is so much so a perspective game, it's not even funny. And furthermore, I realized that I couldn't manifest anything that I truly desired. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because desires tend to lead to for me, I find that when I desire something, it's an extension of something I feel like I don't have in myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you don't have it, if you don't already possess it, then you don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. It's basically what I'm saying, right? You either have it or you don't. So like, for instance, when we were coming into this, at the top of this year, the creator told me to sit down. If somebody would have looked at my life for like a week, I would have looked like I was depressed because I literally would go, I would wake up, I would just lay in my bed and I would experience everything I'm experiencing right now. And I would take the feeling, because that's why we do things. You know what I'm saying? If you want a new car, you must like the way this new car makes you feel. If you want a new bag, you must like the way this new bag makes you feel, and so on. Everything you do is for a feeling. You're trying to get a feeling from it. But the thing is, you can feel things without necessarily experiencing it. right? So like, if I tell you recall something sad, you might get in your emotions right now. It's not happening to you right now, but you can always tap into it. And so for me, I found that if I just want the feeling, let me go for the feeling. And so that's what I did. I started to just go for the feeling of things. I'm like, yo, I'll sit there, I'll be like, what is it? I'm like, what does it feel like? And pinpoint it. Like right now, I can tell you, before I ever hopped on a big stage, right? I'm like, what is this feeling? It's coming, I'm feeling it right now. But like, what is this feeling on being on this big stage? Like, why do you want to do this so bad, right? And for me, it was like, it said, the feeling came was like, oh, I have the power at that moment to hold the dial of people's frequency in this audience. So like, I can make people feel good. Oh, that feels good. You know what I'm saying? So it comes to feeling good. All right, well, let me just feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I'll sit in there and I'll just smile and I'll just sit there for like 20 minutes. And I'll just smile. I'm like, yo, I feel so good right now. You know what I'm saying? So now, do I necessarily need to be on stage? Not really. I just feel good. You know what I'm saying? And then when I leave and I get up to go to work today, let me just make people feel good instead of just serving somebody a plate. Yo, how you doing, man? Yo, this your lady? Oh, so fly. Y'all beautiful, man. Marriage in the future? Nah, okay, I ain't trying to rush you, my dog. You know what I'm saying? Here's your plate. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. If I could, I'd put her in the house, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? Much love to you. He feel good. He's smiling. She's smiling. Like, now I'm like, oh, wait, I'm rocking the stage right now. So it's really perspective. And again, but now if it's to the extent that I want this new car, but I'm not going to feel good about this new car until I get it, how you going to get the car? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got the feeling. The feeling is gonna get you to it. So I say when it comes to manifesting, you wanna find that feeling that you're looking for and hold it in you before you ever get it. Let the experience go. Don't be so attached to the result and the experience. Because then the best part about that is that whatever you're looking for, it'll manifest itself in other experiences. So you just think you're gonna get the new car, but next thing you know, somebody might pull up and your Uber is a Tesla. That's the car you want. Your Uber to Tesla now. You're like, oh, this fly. Like, I ain't even got the money for it, but I'm in it though. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Then your homie might be like, yo, you wanna go like test, like whatever. It's gonna just be so many different experiences where then next thing you know, you like, yo, I got a check. Or somebody like, yo, they selling Teslas for like $20, like 20 racks. Like, yo, I got the down payment. Don't hold on to the result, man. Go for the feeling. I promise you, it works like a charm, man. That's for me. I don't know what's up. What's up, guys?
Nah, you summed it up perfectly in my opinion.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Right. Right. So he was saying like, so before when I was working at my 2 cents, I remember I would kind of go up and down with gratitude, you know what I'm saying? And I was just so ready to be on stages and rocking the crowd. And he was just saying like, what I had to end up doing was I learned that I wanted to, at the time, a big show for me would have been 100 people. So I'm like, man, I can't wait to be in front of 100 people emceeing, And then I had to look at it and I said, I'm working at a restaurant 5 days a week. It's at least about 200 people coming in a day. I got a crowd of 200 every day. So why am I waiting to get on the stage to rock the crowd? And that's back to what I was telling you, like, I would just go make people feel good. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna MC this crowd. Like, man, we serving plates. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna MC this crowd with just good energy. And next thing you know, it made me more talented and be able to talk on stage. I used to have like a fear of talking, and now I'm on stage. You see, I talk a lot, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm on stage and I can talk to people because I mastered that while being, where I was at. So generally, wherever you're at, you want to just make the best of it. If you feel like you can't pull nothing from it, leave. But wherever you're at, your day job, make the best of it. Manifest right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
absolutely.
You got me thinking. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Mentorship. He said, if you're talented, mentorship. Study the ones that did it before you. And that way you'll have an example. Yeah. The study ones who did it before you, have an example of those who did it before you.
And they give you shortcuts.
100%.
They might have had it much more difficult, so you learn what worked and what didn't work.
That's very true.
Right.
Right.
Your perspective on manifestation is really cool, because I've been playing around, right, with this idea. Why does it work for some and doesn't work for others? How? Why? Like, my life has a lot of law of attraction. Why did it work for me but not for others?
Right.
And then, I don't know what you guys think, but I thought maybe, I love yours, by the way. I'm gonna use that. And I thought maybe a lot of people desire things, but deep down inside, they don't think they deserve them.
That is very
And if inside you don't believe you're good enough, you don't attract it. So I think you guys knew you're talented.
Wow.
That's very
So whether you get the followers or the views,
what's crazy?
tell me.
No, you're showing money, because everything I'm talking about came after I fixed the self-love issue. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
It's conviction.
Another thing too, a lot of the times, like I know for me, if I know I would have been one of those people, I personally do believe that could have definitely been the case if I didn't have them reminding me. Because I know at a certain point in time in 505, for me, I was probably the most depressed. And it was the sense of, I'm here and I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm so focused on the lack of not being there. So I'm not, it's an opposite manifestation, honestly. It's like I'm going in the wrong direction because I'm feeling depraved. I'm basically feeling depraved at this spot. I'm like, damn, I know I should be there. I'm talented enough. I'm putting in the work. Why am I not there? Instead of focusing on, I'm putting in the work. It's like going to the airport. I tell people all the time, if you're going to the airport, it don't matter how many detours you get on the way to the airport, eventually you're gonna end up at the airport. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about all the detours. Just know that you're getting, you're getting your way there. So yeah, I was just so, and I think most people get so focused on the fact of, I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet, or certain opportunities should have put me there. So a lot of high expectation on certain things that you feel like, because I did this, I should now be. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a show like this in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the next show might be Albuquerque, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we're gonna take it with the same grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing wrong with Albuquerque. No, I love Albuquerque. No disrespect. Shout out to Albuquerque. All my people in Albuquerque, much love. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Dubai, Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying? It's a different place. That's all I'm saying. Much love, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just saying, you take both, and you should take both with the same gratitude. And just because you did something here, I actually find that a lot with the in hip hop with the older generation. That I've seen that a lot, where it's like sometimes with the older generation, because they came into it and they were doing this, that, and the third, sometimes they'll feel like I shouldn't be doing this. I should only be doing these things like this. And I think a level towards it is like, you don't know what thing that you're doing is taking you to the destination that you've been saying you want to go. You know what I'm saying? So you got to definitely be mindful and be grateful of, every single piece is landing you exactly, it's leading you exactly where you want to go. And if you take away that, the feeling of just being grateful and enjoying it, like you said, you know what I'm saying, definitely
don't be so attached to that result.
Exactly.
Let go of the result.
Allow yourself to just move forward to where you want to go, and
cut off the entitlement.
Cut off the entitlement. Exactly. Absolutely.
Man, I realized, that saying, tell God your plans and he'll laugh at you.
100%.
And I think this is where we are a bit delusional as people. We think we know we're supposed to go in 6 years. And if I just take my example, I studied mechanical engineering, and now I'm listening to people.
Wow.
Like, it's so random. If you told me this in Boston, I'd be like,
what are you talking about?
Right.
So I think it's what you're saying is, if you just focus, it's like going to a resort and you think it's gonna be, and you build all of his expectations with your girl, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Then you go to the resort, it's not that nice. Shit. I thought it's gonna be better food, and then you really spoil it before even going.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've had a guy recently, and he said he interviewed these really famous athletes, and they won the biggest trophies. And when they went this, he's like, in that moment, after that 3 seconds of joy, I'm like, it's not what I wanted. And it's like, you guys, if you are really putting all of your chips on, I need to have the best music video of the year, right?
Right.
And you get it, and you're like, I've built all of this for, and then you don't even get the feeling that you thought you'd be getting.
Right. That's a very, also too, I think that's a very devastating thing to just the mind, you know what I'm saying, and like the spirit, because when you put a lot of energy into thinking that this one thing is gonna give you this feeling and things like that, and it doesn't, I feel like that can definitely, I feel like it's very harmful, you know what I'm saying, it can definitely lead you down a dark road. 100%, because now you got to find that thing that it wasn't this, then I need to.
It should be this. Maybe it's more money. Maybe
like
that leads to greed. That leads to excess.
Exactly.
It's a void that you can't fill unless you fill it
realize
with yourself.
It's already
everything
that you look for.
You can't find nothing that you never lost.
Exactly.
A lot of people are looking for something that they never lost. You have happiness can't be given to you. It can't be taken from you. Peace can't be given to you. You can give it to somebody and let somebody have control over it, but it's yours to keep and yours to have. So everything that we make, it's so funny. I literally was telling my homegirl over here, like, everything that I thought I had wanted, once I let it go, because I already had it inside, literally the universe started beating down my door, then never dropped, then this, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I just got extremely comfortable with all of my dreams never happening.
It's the surrender.
It's the surrender.
I'm telling you.
Damn. He said it's a phrase he lived by that says you could be unhappy in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? And that's him and his wife went to Hawaii. They got into a fight. Right. Him and his wife went to Hawaii and they got in a fight. And they like, yo, we in Hawaii. How are we mad right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you think this is a destination for ultimate happiness. And
A guide, I learned, guys, and you're becoming friends and maybe brothers eventually. So it's a nice feeling with you guys. A guest told me, and I learned so much from people, like listening to you and listening to different people. And a guy told me, Anas, switch expectation with appreciation.
Ooh, that's fire. That is fire.
And I've been thinking about it the whole week.
That's amazing.
It's you know, it's literally everything. It's expecting a movie to be really good, and then you're going like, don't. Just appreciate. You have nachos, you have your friends, like, you know.
Exactly.
And we have to switch. And it's self-sabotage when you keep expecting. I'm coming to Dubai. This is all is gonna happen.
Right.
You already maybe so much more is happening, but you're so blind because you're building this expectation. Focus on the other things. And it's such a dangerous thing. I think we all do it, but how do you control it? You know how to. Don't expect so much. Appreciate. Oh, you should have called me. Why?
Right.
She couldn't. He couldn't.
Yeah.
At least they're there for you most of the time.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It just changes it, you know?
I like that. So switch expectation for appreciation. That's fire.
I haven't heard from you.
That's fire.
Because you have some good things to say too.
Oh, he's
I know. He's behind these glasses with the brain.
I love it. Yeah, 100%.
As far as on the
manifestation.
I was gonna say, you know, sometimes the environment could lead you to not believe in yourself. You know what I mean? You know, coming from Colombia, you know, like, it's a lot of poverty over there. Some dreams feel undreamable, you know, like, you'd be like, nah, I could never, cause look where I'm at, you know? But one thing that I feel that has led me here, amongst the many things, is love. I think love is the strongest force ever. And following that love, being able to, you know, take everything out and put it on the table and look at myself and be like, what moves me the most? What do I feel the most alive? And it's the love for music. And it wasn't really like, oh, like I want to do music because, you know, I want to be like known or, you know, to be like the best or whatever. Like, I just literally continued it. Honestly, I found my self-love through music. And because at a time when I started doing music, I didn't really love myself. I didn't love a lot of things about myself, how I looked. I didn't understand a lot of things about me, like culturally. And then growing up in America, it was like kind of like, whoa, what's going on? So with music, it became that thing that I loved the most about myself. I was like, man, like, I love this so much, and I was able to work on it. And then through that, I learned, like, follow your heart, man. Like, you know, we're all designed differently, you know, and what makes that person heart beat and feel like alive is gonna be different than you, and that's okay, you know what I mean? Like, we're all designed differently. So it's really just getting to know yourself and being like, okay, this is what I really love. And I think that feeling is gonna take you wherever you wanna be. Like, exactly, no expectations. Just the feeling, the love, and you know, that's like my manifestation for sure.
That's hard.
You know what I liked about what you said? One, I think all of you should really, and I know you do, but I'm gonna push you more. Just really appreciate each other. Like every day, man. Like really, even if you argue, even if you fight, you're really lucky to have found each other.
Yeah,
true.
And you said something, you said sometimes when I was down, they were there to build my belief.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we're like a tank, you know, and sometimes the tank is really empty. You need somebody to pour some love.
Yeah.
And when you can't pour it, you need somebody to pour it for you. And these guys are going, hey, where? Like, yeah, okay.
100%.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I love that. And we're so lucky if we have people who do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I said, it's not your parents or it's not your
Right.
friends, but
Right.
it's somebody.
Right.
A teacher or a best friend. Or,
Yeah.
on the topic of your music, I don't like to talk too much about what you guys do, but I like the purpose. So I know you talk about spirituality. I know you tackle really serious and deep subjects when a lot of the world, I'd say at least 95% of rap and hip hop doesn't.
Right.
But you're taking the road less traveled, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The question I have is very simple, but it's important. Why do you guys do what you do?
Right. I know for me, I feel like growing up, because basically growing up, I got a lot of my influence as a man based on different, like Common, you know what I'm saying? Like just different artists, Common, Denzel Washington, Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? And like these are like different examples of people in music where like I would hear their words growing up as a kid. I'm talking about like 15, 16, and I'd be like, there's an element of this line that is now about to shape the person I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so, to be now 26, I got little brothers. I got like 2 twin little brothers and whatnot. They like 12. And I look at them and I'm like, it's just so incredible that I look at them and I see I can already see like the trajectory of who they're about to become and stuff like that. And like their identity is very fragile. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for somebody's words to have that much of an effect on you, that's extremely important. And so like when I look at what we do, it's like it would be incredibly I feel like just disrespectful to everything that God has done and all of our lives to take this opportunity and not recognize that the words that we say can impact somebody's entire life for positive, negative, whatever the case. So if I got this opportunity and everything that I learned over the course of 26 years, and I'm learning more as I go, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know it all, you know what I'm saying? But like everything I know that has definitely helped me and served me, why would I not use that and give that a service specifically? You know what I'm saying? I love, our audience that's over, 19 and whatnot, but I'm speaking specifically to children. Why would I not give that information to children when I know how much it impacted me? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, when I just think of the purpose and the reason why, I genuinely just focus on there's somebody else that's 16, 12, 14, 15, in that age, in that area of age, that's growing up, most likely don't have a father, most likely my skin, my black, or, of a minority, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't hear that you're great, or doesn't hear that, if you just surround yourself with people that actually love you, or people that's gonna inspire you, or that's gonna build you up, you can go anywhere you wanna go. That doesn't hear, matter of fact, it even doesn't hear to the extent of, it's okay, it's absolutely okay to start a certain way and work your way up. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't, if you met all of us some years back, you're not about to have the same interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So it's like, it's cool, it takes time. So it's also, it's okay to hear, it's gonna take time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
a process.
It's a process, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for the most part, when I look at that, I just think, for me, and I think, for Coast and what Coast is supposed to do, I think it's extremely geared towards children. You know what I'm saying? Like, and knowing that with everything that's coming out right now, and I see what the effect has been on children, it's our job to go to the highest power of our abilities to spread positivity, spread love, and growth. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And, oh man, he hit it dead on. Eric Jamal said it there, ladies and gentlemen. You saying fun, 100%. Fun is the most important key. Even if you want to, if you really go back to hip hop, that was an element that was there. Mind you, it was new, it was fresh. 90s, 80s, it was still fresh. So it's now at 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So over time, you can start to lose these different things that are amazing. When something is brand new, of course, it's automatically fun. But that element is a core piece. And we got to bring that back for sure. But I would say that for me, I think that's important.
Anything else on your purpose, on why you do what you do?
Servitude. 100%. That's a word he didn't he'll live and die by his whole entire life.
You started with responsibility and servitude. So I'm scanning you now on what you do.
100%. Servitude.
For me, I would say that sound in particular is a very powerful instrument. I remember seeing they did a sound experiment on water, and they would play different frequencies on the water and then freeze it, and depending on the vibration that they put on that water, it'll have a chaotic form or it'll have an angelic crystalline form. And generally like jazz, Beethoven, like just higher, nice feeling frequencies would give it this beautiful crystalline form. And then like real like chaotic music, it'll just look weird. Like it'll like lead tap. They actually changed and altered tap water and made it better with frequency. So sound in particular, I feel like what we do, I always think of it just like a dial to the world that we could turn that joint up or turn it down. And I want to be responsible for turning it up. I think Coast Contra is here to raise the vibrations on this planet. Ultimately,
100%.
ultimately, yeah.
On the planet.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
And that's where you should be.
Yeah.
Don't diet your dream.
Right.
Not at all. Even if somebody said, what are you talking about? Planet. So,
Right.
yeah, planet.
On the planet, yeah, for
Planet.
sure. Yeah.
Planet.
Right.
And like you, and what it's so when you go to a really expensive place and you go, so how much is this whatever, right? Sure. And they go like, let's make it up, $2,000. You're like, what? And the guy goes, yeah, $2,000.
Right.
And then you're like, oh shit, maybe it is 2,000. Like,
right,
you know, like
yeah.
you start to doubt it. So when you say, if I'm a hater and I go, what do you mean planet? You're like, planet.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. You gotta rock with it.
Stand on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You gotta stand on it. Yeah. that's
Conviction.
what's up.
Yeah,
Nah, I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, I
And it's so
love it.
funny
I
too
love it.
because Coast Contra, we started off in Miami. We all three went to school in Miami, and so Coast Contra initially started off as Coast and then Contra being different coasts. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so funny because like once he joined, we was like, oh snap, Coast Contra. Like you don't gotta be from no particular place to be in Coast Contra. And then it was like, oh, this is a world thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Coast Contra could have started here. It could have started in Africa somewhere. It could have started in Russia somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to be landlocked to any particular region. You know what I'm saying? So when we say the globe, we definitely mean the globe. Coast Contra is definitely for the whole world, for sure.
You were gonna tell him something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, unity, like even us coming together is a representation that with love, like it's so funny. I don't know if you relate, I'm sure we can all relate to this. I walk down the street and I see a black person my age, and my first reaction is I'm on guard. That's crazy. But I'm being honest. You know
And
what I'm saying?
sad.
Like I'm walking down the street and it's not until we do the head nod where I'm like, all right, cool, I can let my guard. Hey, all right, for sure, all right, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But it's so funny, like in different circumstances, if we weren't aligned properly, we could all be enemies. Yeah. Right, yeah, you got a set of twins, a Colombian and a Philly cat, and we rock like we all came out the same womb. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring it. So Apartment 505 was about showing the world us coming together and who we are, and moving forward. Now we want to bring the whole world together.
There it is.
And this is what the show is doing.
Yeah.
The show is like showing diverse human beings all in one place. And that's the interesting thing is I sit with people from everywhere, like literally everywhere. And I can ask the same set of questions and it applies. If I tell you, how's your childhood? How's your love life?
Right.
What is the hardest moment in your life? What do you regret the most? It applies to any human being anywhere. And then the person you were judging from God knows where, you're like, he's going through
The same things I'm
the same thing.
Right.
And that's the beauty, it's you bring people. And today you have a Dubai guy
Right.
with Philly and Miami and Colombia. It's interesting, and we can still talk for hours.
That's really amazing.
I was just thinking now when you were talking about the intangibles, it's this obsession with brands, right?
Right.
And when you see people with these big logos and big names, and I'm like, where do you seek your value? Do we do it in jewelry? Do we do it in clothes? I love clothes and I love jewelry, but where's your value?
Right.
Because if now I remove all of this, are you still valuable?
Right.
Or you feel empty?
Right.
And it makes you think, like, even with what I like about knowing a bit more about you guys is you could have taken the easy route. Girls, booze, clubbing, that, and you probably get way more fans, way more views because it's the current way of the world.
Right.
So maybe my question is for all these upcoming rappers or hip hop artists or lyricists that are like, I'm gonna follow the other one, the typical one and the popular one. And maybe they're really talented, maybe even more talented than you.
Right.
But they're like, no, let's do it stupid and silly. and because this is what gets the views. What would you tell these young ones that are coming up? Advice or point of view?
I would just say be mindful, because easy come, easy go. And it's so many different examples of people who have put music out into the world, or just art out into the world, and it's super trendy and stuff like that, but it's gonna go out with the seasons, like. Yeah. And the thing is you can't get on twice. That's the problem, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get on twice. So once you go out that first time and you establish this, like, that brand is all you got. You know what I'm saying? Once your brand is tarnished or is perceived in a you know, wishy-washy type of way, you gotta live with that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you know, I think it's better to take your time and do it right the first time, because how you come in is gonna set the standard for how you go out. I appreciate our situation, because even for us, like, people always say the other one is the easier route. I completely disagree. You know what I'm saying? I completely disagree. I don't think it's easier. One, because if you're not that type of person, I just think it's harder to fake. It's harder to fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta to fake something. You gotta, one, remember to lie. That's a lot of effort. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember to be this goofy type, or not, I don't wanna say goofy, but you gotta remember to be like this, like, we not turn up people. If anybody know us in real life, we act like we're 96 years old, each of us. We got a bedtime, like, we all go to sleep at 9, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if we was to try to be these super turn up type of dudes, you know, drinking stuff like that, we don't drink, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. Like, so to fake it would actually be more taxing, more work, you know what I'm saying, on our personal energy. So I would say just be true to who you are. Now, if you are, now I'll be honest, for me, I listen to all type of music. So if you are Future and you really, that's who you are, if you're Lil Baby, if you Lil Uzi, if that's who you really are, rock out. You know what I'm saying? Like be true to who you are. It's just gonna be easier in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever catches on, if it catches on quick, good for you. If it catches on 20 years later, good for you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna hurt. That's my advice. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to be who you are. It's less energy, it's less effort. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Yeah. Understand your uniqueness. Yeah.
I feel like God created all of us different.
Right.
And with how He created you, the fingerprint He put on you, it's your job to offer that to the world.
Yeah.
So when you try to copy or emulate somebody else, you're doing a disservice to what God
distilled in you. Right. He's saying understand your uniqueness, because whatever we all are our own, we all have our own individual fingerprints. So whatever you are, being true to who you are, people can only find that there. You become a commodity instantly, you know what I'm saying? A very big commodity. So he's saying if you try to trade that in and sell out to go do what everybody else is doing, you already undercutting your value and what you're capable of being in this world, you know what I'm saying? So be true to who you are. It automatically makes you just a rare gem in the world, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to piggyback off what he was saying, you know, you could lie to people, but it's harder to lie to yourself.
100%.
You know, so you don't want to do that. And it's about legacy too, you know what I mean, and the impact that you leave on the world. You know, like, what are people gonna say when everything is all said and done?
Right.
Like, people aren't gonna remember you like, oh, he had the cars, he had the girls, the booze, and all that. Like that's.
It don't hit at the eulogy speeches.
Yeah. That don't hit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's really what you give people, and the words that you know, let them live with, and you know, the energies will always live forever. So I think that's the main thing for me. Yeah, that I would say.
Nah, 100%. Just to piggyback on what he said, that lying to yourself element, that's tough. Suffering. Yeah. That's, to me, I mean, for somebody like me, that's truly suffering, because when you got to deal with it's like that lie stays there. It's like, it literally is like this parasite in your body that you got to constantly deal with. And I know just for personal experience on slight small things, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's like, you know, I tell a lie about, I remember one time I lied about messing with a female, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, nah, yeah, you know, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just the fact that sitting with me was like, bro, you weak. So you sit there and it just starts to just pour all into your system about
it's a poison to your self-esteem.
It's 100%. So I couldn't imagine that. Not alone just lying to a few people, but lying to the world, and the world holding you accountable for this person that you got to continually be every single day, and that's not you. So yeah, I would definitely, you know, to anybody watching this, if you definitely be yourself, 100%. It's it's cleaner.
It's liberating.
It's freedom. Yeah. It's freedom. Whatever that is, that's chaining yourself up. Yeah. So
it's so true. Like, there's this, I heard about this and I think it's quite accurate. There's in a European country, private jet with no engine, where influencers go and take pictures inside.
Oh.
I've heard of that.
And I'm like,
That's
Insane.
That's wild.
but
the
you
point,
know, you know,
insane.
you
You know
take
it's
that
not
picture,
a-
you know. It's like when somebody wears a fake watch.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, but you know.
Right.
That's
Do you-
all that matters.
do you
is that
feel fake?
know.
Right.
Yeah.
You are fake.
Right.
Yeah.
Buy a Casio, buy a anything, a Rolex. If you can afford a Rolex,
Right,
go for it.
right,
If you can afford anything, go for whatever. Like we say, I don't know if you say it in English. We say in Arabic, you stretch your leg according to your blanket. Like, don't get a blanket that's too big for you.
That's
fire.
You know?
That's
I'm trying to
fire.
translate.
That's fire.
But
That was fire.
you
That was
don't,
fire.
and that's what.
fire.
But you know what's the issue? We live in a world that everybody wants to be on a first class seat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Before our dad's time, our mother's time, they were fine.
They just want to travel.
Yeah.
Whether it was the economy, the destination we're going to have
Right.
fun, it didn't matter if we're all piled up in a certain small car and we
Right.
all go.
Right.
But now everybody feels entitled, is
Yes.
the word you used.
Yeah.
No, why is he? Why is Ras there?
Right.
I have to go.
Right.
Right.
Ras went there in his journey, in his circumstance, in his hard work, and that paid off.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, so it's really tricky to, like, I don't understand this. I love what you said, don't lie to yourself, because you suffer. You want to be famous on this persona that you built,
Yeah.
but at what price? On depression?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Man.
It leads there. That's really
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think you know what's interesting to me, like with brands. I'm not gonna lie, I never grew up being a brand guy, anyways. But then two, people got to be mindful of what brands mean. What are you wearing? Like, what is the actual symbol on your thing? Like on your shirt, what does the symbol mean? I'm big on that too. I'm like, yo, like I'm not gonna wear something if I don't know what it means. You might be putting on something that completely it goes 100% opposite of what you actually believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you so big on trying to wear Gucci. Do the people at Gucci like you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they? You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. Like, do they like my people? Do they like my? So when it comes to that, it's just like, you know, and not to say Gucci don't, but I'm just saying in general, like you want to be mindful of what you putting on, man. Like, create your own brand. Coast Contra, when we started Coast Contra, it got cooked in the kitchen. Now people wear it. You know what I'm saying? So now me wearing my own brand, I'm fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, create your own brand. Create your own. Like, I don't think we gotta be people so big on being followers. Like, you get more in life, and you get more. You stand out more. Your name and your reputation precedes you when you walk the path less traveled. You become an extraordinary person just off the fact that you didn't do it like everybody else. Like he said, being yourself, you're a pioneer. So I think, you know, you got to choose who you want to be in this life, man. Like, according to what they say, we get one of them. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you believe, but even if you come back, man, do it right the first time. I say, go be extraordinary. It's just be extraordinary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I love the fact that I was telling her, like, it's so funny, the more and more we get more successful, everybody want to give us free shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
like all the shit that we wasn't
the
even tripping
richest
on buying.
people get the
They
most
don't
free
even pay
shit.
for nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so funny because I'm like, I wasn't even buying none of this shit, but now they giving it to us. But I didn't have to fake it to get it. You know what I'm saying? So meanwhile, somebody else spending a whole check trying to get it, or just buying some fake shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's backwards. It's just backwards. Yeah. He said he feel like in this day and age with social media, people so concerned with living for other people instead of living for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting. Because you go take the picture on a fake jet and then go back to a shitty apartment.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine.
It's
so
crazy.
they think you're
bizarre.
balling, but you got to deal with the reality of, you know what I'm saying?
Lying
That's
to
crazy.
yourself again.
Right.
And honestly, like, I was gonna say, like, that uniqueness, you know, like, you really decide what's cool. Like,
Right.
the Gucci and all that don't make you automatically cool, because, like, you can still not know how to put it together, but I could go to Goodwill and get a better outfit and pay for $3. You know what I mean? Like,
Come on.
and it's
We
just
really
about
do that all the time.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I heard something cool. The lady that said this, she said, anybody can be fashionable, not everybody can be stylish.
100%.
That's it.
People go buy the mannequin, still can't talk to a girl, still can't like,
Exactly.
come on, man, like, it ain't gonna do nothing for
And
you.
you know, somebody told me something that really fucked with my mind.
Yeah.
They go, when you buy these big brands with a big name on it, you're a walking billboard.
Yeah.
And you paid for it.
Yeah.
It's not like they gave it to me. You paid for it and you're advertising.
And you
like,
paid for it.
Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
So unless what you said, you really are in line with their purpose,
Right.
their values. You're like, I like that brand, I'm gonna wear it.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Right.
but you're just paying thousands, and you're like, look at me, yeah, but you're branding it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
They should pay you for that billboard.
For it. And they that's crazy.
That's
Meanwhile, they gonna give us it for free so we could be a brand. Like it's interesting.
I'm gonna wear a Coast Contra t-shirt though.
Yeah, we gotta get you one.
For sure.
Let's go. That's fine. We appreciate that.
Okay, I have a cool question. I just started using this one, and I read it and it was pretty interesting. It's called the tombstone question.
Okay.
So, you know, the tombstone has something about you. So your name, and then something about you, right?
Yeah,
the funniest guy, made people laugh. What would each of you think you want your name, and then what's under that?
I already got it, 100%. He absolutely became the best version of himself. That's it. That's all I need. I need that, and I'm good to go.
Okay, and you?
I would say his smile makes you smile. Contagious light.
Nice. Now you're making me smile.
That's fine. I don't know. You got something?
Ras, what would you feel that should be there?
When it's all said and done, I did the best I could. I did the best I could. I summoned everything I possibly had within me, and I gave it to the world. I left on an empty tank.
Nice.
I left on an empty tank.
Ras.
When you see Eric Jamal, you can see God.
When you see Eric Jamal, you can see God. Yeah.
That's fine.
When you see Eric Jamal, you can see God?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like characteristics, love. Really, my life is we all gotta go. And when I go, I want it to be completely 100% vessel.
Yeah.
That's it. A
The
vessel.
full servant.
Full servant.
Yeah.
And I gave everything I gave back, and I feel like when you do that, that is an act of God.
Right.
So when you see me, you don't see God, but you see love.
God's works.
You see
Yeah.
the work of God.
Yeah. So he saying,
You see the work of
he see the work of God. You seen him being a servant and him being a vessel for the Creator. In all his actions, that everything he gave everything he could to show you that God exists through his works. Yeah.
And my dad told me that everyone has a talent.
Yeah.
It don't always have to be, glorified by the world.
Right.
But a talent is to give. That's a talent. To be kind to somebody.
Right.
That's a talent. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? To save someone's life.
Right.
That's a talent. So we all are talented in our own way.
Right.
It don't have to just be praised by
Music
people.
or right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you get back to the homeless, you receive that joy. You feel what I'm saying? It's the intangibles again. But just
Right.
everyone has a talent. My talent was to give back as God gave me.
Right. He's saying his pop always told him like everybody has a talent. You know what I'm saying? And the talent don't necessarily have to be praised by everybody. It don't have to be music and art. Somebody's talent could just be kindness. Somebody's talent could just be giving back, being a good person. These different things are considered talents. You giving back, saving lives. So he's saying like for him, he just wanted his talent to be the fact that, like he said, being of service to God. Like everything that he gave to the world was a representation. You know what I'm saying?
People look back on my life and read my book. It can be a path on how to walk.
Right.
Walk your own journey. You know what I'm saying? But
Be an example.
Example.
Yeah.
And last one. Coast Contra in one word.
Liberation.
Liberation.
That's the same word that came in my mind, I swear.
He keeps going before you. I should have started with you. Liberation too?
Unity.
Unity.
Nice.
Inspiration.
Fun.
Fun.
All right, guys. I love this.
That's fine.
I'm gonna hug each one of you.
Much love.
Man, thank you. Appreciate all of you.
Appreciate you.
If I come to the States,
Oh, you gotta come see about us, man. 100%. We sit down, we play some music for you.
Thank you so much.
Get you some good food.
Yeah.
I love
take
street
it
food.
to
So
the
next time we're not doing any of the fancy food. We're going to the streets, eating on the floor.